Hello everybody and welcome back to I Was the Teenage Exocolonist. This is our last year with Marz. We're going to be finishing up this year. We're going to be taking over the colony and placing her as our beautiful, beautiful governor. And along the way we might as well get some endings, just to have some fun. But to get started, I'm going to make sure that the peace ending is all prepared and set up. And then we will keep going until we get some new stuff or until the coup begins, one or the other. I am purposefully avoiding the governor or the assisting the governor thing for now, because I want to do stuff with Marz, like if there are any Marz-related events in that area. Maybe not. Maybe I already ran through them too fast. We'll see. Oh! Look it! Will you stop the Earth Fleet? It's different now when you talk to the Overseers. Will you stop the Earth Fleet? The Overseer is silent as you describe the hundreds of colony ships en route from Earth. Yes, you hear eventually. This changes our calculations. As such, a population scale is not sustainable within the designated habitat. Then, horribly, a culling may be necessary. We suggest you find a way to divert this fleet before it arrives. Don't know! Now you go and convince the others of your species to agree to our compromise. Okay! Alright! That's so cool. I didn't expect there to be another mention of the colony. Maybe we'll see something about it in the ending, too. That would be exciting. Because, let's be honest, even when we do make the deal better, because right now the deal is that we get, a tiny space and we can't breed or anything like that, but later on we make the deal better if you go for the good ending. But, even if we do get the good ending, that many ships coming to Vertumna, even in the best case scenario, there's no way they're all going to fit on there, and there's no way any of them are going to agree to the Gardener's plan. They still got all that Earth mentality. Even the freaking, Helio people didn't really agree with it, as we can see in the ending, or at least part of the ending. So it's I don't know, I don't think many of the Earth ships would be on board with the Vertumnan life, especially once we make peace with the Gardeners. It's not good all around. They should just go back to Earth. Governor Lum enters the colony square to his customary bombastic fanfare. Brass band, red carpet, banners with the Heliopause logo snapping in the hot dust breeze. It's disgusting. The governor gets his usual tithe of applause from diehard soldiers, but it's obvious how tired and fearful everyone has become in service to his war. You catch Marz's eye, and she nods in solidarity. You've planned for this for so long, and now is your chance to strike, while everyone is watching. If you can get the entire council to speak out against Lum today, maybe the rest of the colony is ready for a change. Anyone is better than Lum, even a teenager. The governor raises his hand for silence, though it's largely unnecessary. Pioneers of Vertumna, he begins. We stand here today not shivering and quaking in fear, but with our hands around the neck, he makes a ringing gesture, of the planet herself. Before he can continue, Marz leaps from her seat and runs to the front of the stage. A ripple of fear goes through the crowd. You all remember what happened to Utopia last year. It doesn't have to be like this, she cries, speaking to the crowd. We don't have to listen to him. He's just a bully with a gun, like the ones we left behind on Earth. I'm gonna join my girlfriend at the stage. You put yourself between her and Lum's honor guard. She flashes you a giddy, grateful smile and turns back to the crowd. She points to the governor. This man has made you think that the only way to survive is through violence, she says. He's just a soldier, and not even a good one. Violence only makes small, weak men feel powerful. She turns to the council. He's not powerful. We're powerful. We broke free of Earth. We broke free of war and bigotry and inequality, and we can break free of him, too. Please, she urges, stand with me. Reject Lum and bring along a new era, a colony led by someone born among the stars. She holds her hand to her chest. Me. I can lead this colony. Governor Marz is the future. The buzz of the crowd is deafening, like a swarm of bugs all chirping together. Some of the council members are nodding, but it isn't unanimous. This is bullshit, Lum laughs. 2 children saying they can lead the colony? What's their first order of business? Taco Tuesday? Soy sweets for dinner? He waves his hand dismissively. Have your stupid vote, he sneers. We'll let the council decide. The Senate shall decide your fate. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see his guards with their weapons lowered, just waiting. Some of them look as interested in the change in leadership as you are. If you have the council behind you, even Lum supporters in the military could fall into line. You might just win. Let them vote. The council stands to deliberate amongst themselves, and one other person too. Unicott! The former governor is unsteady on her feet. She looks at you and Marz, then nods. You can see her exchanging words with the council. If anyone would understand what we were doing, it would be her. For all of her faults, she definitely is part of the Vertumna group through and through. The council deliberates. You and Marz clasp hands and tensely await their decision. The council shuffles off to the side and deliberates. To your relief, they come to a decision quickly. They must all be unanimous, or the centrists of the colony won't rise against Lum. After a minute, Instance looks up from the group and shouts, "Someone get that man off the stage!" Lum starts to laugh, but stops when he realizes that his own honor guard is coming up onto the stage to cart him away. "Wait," he says, as his arms are held behind his back and he's taken off stage. "You can't do this! I'm the governor! I'm the leader of this godforsaken colony!" "Not anymore, bitch!" You search the crowd for any hint of dissent. The soldiers are uneasy, but everyone else just looks tired and relieved. You can't believe that all it took was a few kids to point out the obvious. The council returns to their positions, and Instance remains standing. "We've decided to reward these young patriots for their bravery by accepting their bid for leadership," she says to the crowd. "On a trial basis." She gives you a meaningful look. "We're pleased to recognize our new governor." Instance turns to Marz. "Marzipan!" Marz shrieks and jumps up and down, then gives you a big hug. "We did it!" she squeals. "We really did it! Thank you, Yabby!" Marz releases you and waves at the crowd as they cheer her name. She looks overwhelmed, but bursting with happiness. Seek shuffles forward and directs Marz to place her hand on her chest and repeat after them. Watch the swearing-in ceremony. Marz swears on her honor to act in the best interests of the colony and to uphold the tenets of the Vertumna group, peace, understanding, and harmony with the planet and each other, not just for herself, but for generations to come after. It's official now. Lum is old news. You won! The two factions of the colony regard each other carefully. On one side, those who went along with Lum out of fear, either of him or of Vertumna, are cautious, unsure of what to do now that their leader's been deposed. On the other, the peaceful faction can't quite believe their nightmare is over. Marz sees this and directs Lum's military band to start playing something festive. "I know we've been through a lot, but we've been through worse," she says. "Tonight, let's just enjoy being together again. Let's eat, dance, and celebrate." After the politicking is over, the crowd adjourns to the feast tables and, eventually, the dance floor. The sun sets on a long day, the heat breaks, and the party continues well into the night. After the festivities, Marz gives everyone 2 whole weeks off for a much-needed rest. She spends the time meeting with every colonist individually, and it does a lot to endear her to the people who are still hesitant about having a teenager as a governor. Yeah, Lum never did anything like that. He just did whatever he wanted, including blowing up the freaking colony. Hello! You get a summons to report to command, to Marz's new office. You know I do love having a girlfriend who is higher up than me. Hey! Looking down at me, I like that. No. You find her reclining in the captain's seat, formerly Governor Lum's chair, idly flipping through her notes on her hollow palm. Marz waves away the hollow screen and leans back to consider you. "Yabby," she smiles, "just the rebel I wanted to see. But first, you're not going to lead a mutiny against me now, are you? Better stay on your toes." Marz laughs and stands to give you a hug. "I would expect nothing less from you, darling." She turns and looks out the window overlooking the colony. "Actually, I called you here because I haven't had a moment to myself since Vertumnalia. We knew Lum was a real piece of work, but every day I seem to uncover yet another problem he was letting fester. And the department heads," she huffs, "half of them treat me like an interim governor, good enough to oust Lum, but not good enough to stick around and do the actual work of governing this colony. They'll come around." "You're right, of course," she sighs. "I just wish I knew who I could trust. They're so stuck in their old survival mindset. Just survive until the food runs out, or until the animals finally destroy the colony. Just survive until we can vote out Marz. I don't want my time as governor to be just about survival." She gestures you to come look out the windows at the bustle of the colony below. "I just wanted to thank you for everything you did to get me here," she says, seriously. Far below, you watch a team gearing up to head out on an expedition. There's construction happening on the next phase of residential units. A group of toddlers, the first children born on Vertumna, cross the colony square like a herd of hawkeye. Everywhere you see the bustle of a thriving, healthy colony. "It's all mine now," she says. Instead of sounding boastful, she seems almost scared of the prospect. She takes your hand, without turning to look at you, her eyes still trained on her kingdom. "Can I trust you to help me?" she asks. "I need people around me, who believe in me, but will still tell me if I'm making the wrong choice. Promise with a kiss? You press Marz against the window and kiss her tenderly, pouring all of your dedication to her in your kiss. Marz says, opening her eyes slowly when you pull away. That's not what I expected, but I do appreciate it. Sealed with a kiss. You and Marz watch the colony a little longer until Marz's holopalm buzzes and she sighs. Well, duty calls, she says. Thank you again for all your help, she adds as you excuse yourself. You'll always have a friend in high places. Aww, I'm just happy to be with you. Oh, you want to talk again? I will not say no. Oh, now that Marz is governor, maybe you have a chance to stop the Earth fleet. Then again, maybe now that she's in charge, she's just accepted that they're coming and is focusing on consolidating power while she can. Ask her about the ships. Marz nods. I know, she says, looking at Lum with a poisonous glare. She kept him around as her social media coordinator, but she probably just wanted to keep him close. Oh my god, they flippity-flopped. Remember when he was telling us to make him look good? And then I completely ruined it? I haven't decided what to do about it yet, but I think it's time to make a scene about it. She stalks over to Lum and knocks his holopad out of his hands. Hey, so, when were you going to tell me about your secret messages back to Earth? Lum looks like he's going to play dumb, but Marz presses him. You know, the ones where you invited 1,000 colony ships to come take over Vertumna? The bridge has gone completely silent. Seek's hand are frozen over their holopod mid-message. Yeah, now you guys believe me, don't you? Yeah, you piece of shit! The silent bridge explodes into furious chatter and crosstalk as Marz's words sink in. Marz calls for calm and shares what you know, that Lum invited 1,000 ships from Earth to come take over colonization efforts on Vertumna, that they would be here in 20 years, and that if the colony isn't stable by then, they'll kill everything on the planet and start over. The mood is somber. Marz sighs and sits down in the governor's chair, resting her face in her hands. I know we were here first, she says, but I don't know what we can do to stand up to them. Call them off! There is no way we can let them come here. Especially these type of people. I know that sounds mean to say, but when they hear about the gardeners, they're not going to be like, oh, that deal sounds good. They're going to be like, oh, they're a threat. That's what they're going to do. We can't trust them. I know that sounds so mean, but I just, it's the best way is if they're not here. If I can be of assistance, Seek starts, and all eyes in command swivel to them. I was present when the colony's long-range scanners first discovered Vertumna, and determined that it could support human life. Scanning through the wormhole is difficult, they continue slyly. A ship traveling from Earth must rely on sensor data alone. If that sensor data were to be modified... You enlist Congruence's help in finding a way to spoof Vertumna's readings, making it look as if the planet's core ruptured from a massive earthquake, then superheated and exploded. It's like a big theatrical stage play told through spectrogram temperature readouts. From now on, any scans coming through the wormhole will show nothing but empty space. To drive it home, Lund sends one last audio message to Earth before the scans go dark. It's all on fire, he screams into the recording. Abort mission! Abort mission! Save yourselves! Perfect performance. At least you can always count on Lum for a good show. You mean he's a fake bitch? Yeah, that's true. Wow! I wonder what would have happened if we said to let them come. We do have more than one ending to get this time around, so maybe I'll check that out. I don't know how it would go, but we will find out. One of the endings is we have to go back to a conversation from a while ago anyway, so I might as well do that when I'm doing that as well. We'll see how it goes, but for now they're called off. Thank goodness. I wonder if they were called off in the other endings, or if, since we didn't know about it, it never happened. Oh dear, that's scary to think about. No, we'll think. It was good endings. The endings that were good that we got were good. We called them off. That is my headcanon. Alright, but we still have one more thing to do. We need to bring the Overseer's deal to Marz. Marz waves away her reports. Hey babe, need something? Start by telling her about Sim. You tell Marz about meeting Sim, a gardener, a member of a real, actual, sentient race sharing the planet with humans. After a second, though, you get the impression Marz isn't surprised at all. You trail off, and Marz smiles. Uh-huh, we know, she says. What? Don't look surprised. Did you think the council thought the animals were coming for us every glow because we smell bad? She giggles and kisses you a little patronizingly. Sorry I couldn't tell you. Top secret colony business. But to be fair, you didn't tell me you were meeting an alien in secret this whole time. But you're saying you're actually friends with one of these aliens. In past lives we were lovers. And we will be again one day. She invites you to sit next to her. Honestly, we don't know anything about them except that they have to exist. Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting attacked every year. What are they like? Tell me everything. Don't tell her. I'm just like, hey babe, by the way, there's aliens. Anyway, I gotta go. Bye. Tell her about the offer. That's what we're here for. Marz listens intently as you outline the overseer's deal. She rubs her forehead. This is huge, Yabby. It might be the only chance for peace with these gardeners that we'll ever have. But how am I supposed to convince people to surrender to something we don't even fully understand? If we can't go anywhere except this valley, how are we ever going to grow as people? In a few generations, our technology is going to break down, and we'll be scratching in the dirt like animals. The deal sucks, honestly. Marz sighs and is silent for a long time. You said they'll send someone to negotiate during Glow? She says finally. Well, I guess we'll be ready. Thanks, Yabby. Of course, babe. I'm always here for you. Mwah! Alright, and since I'm going for the ending where you assist the governor, I'm going to continue doing this. Maybe we'll see some new stuff with Marz. Yes! You kind of expected Marz would go a little easier on you, seeing as you helped her become governor and all. Unfortunately, she's come to see you as the only person she can trust to do a good job, because she saddles you with a lot of work as her assistant. The fact she likes to make you sweat probably helps. Oh, you can make me sweat in any way you want, baby. Oh, sorry. Marz kept Lum around as her own personal social media manager, so at least that's one job you don't have to do. He's not bad at it, since being charismatic is basically his only skill. And besides, Chief Rhett won't let him anywhere near the garrison. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Rhett had the chance and got him alone, he would kill him. That man hates Lum, and I can't blame him. Sometimes Lum treats you like you're still his assistant, but he's not your boss anymore. Marz makes sure he knows that. Your job mostly consists of managing Marz's packed schedule. She became governor by essentially promising everyone on the council that she'd listen to their concerns, and her promises are coming home to roost. Oh, it sucks to be popular, Marz sighs, scrolling through her calendar. My schedule overfloweth, you dealeth witheth. Yes, my queen! Oh, shit, sorry, I thought we were doing like a joke thing. Hang on, I'm gonna time travel. They don't want to meet with you. They're only meeting with her because they think they have to. Most of these meetings could be hollow messages, honestly. She doesn't have to actually be there in person to get them to listen to her. Yeah, you're probably right, Marz says and smiles. Thanks for giving me a reality check. Yeah, that's what I was supposed to do. I need to keep her on her toes like I promised. I thought we were doing like a jokey thing, you know, when you joke around with your partner, and I didn't realize I was being serious. She looks pleased to know that her words carry weight even without being backed up by her considerable presence. That doesn't solve the problem on how to manage all these scheduling conflicts, though. She sighs. How are we going to... Wait! She laughs. This is totally an assistant's job. Let me know when you figure it out. You can feel Seek staring daggers at you from nearby, disappointed that they weren't trusted with this menial task. Oh my goodness, Seek. Okay, hardly work or work hard. When a plan comes together. I don't think I have that card yet. I'll work hard. You wisely combine several meetings with similar topics, avoiding people who you know will argue with each other. You cancel a few other meetings, starting hollow messages and copying Marz into the thread. You remember to give Marz a few hours midweek for her spa time. If there's one thing Marz learned from Lum, it's that image matters. A governor with frizzy hair and dry skin won't be taken seriously. You gotta look beautiful, amazing, magnificent. I like that the Earth's fleet is coming thing drops like 2 more. It's like a warning. Earth's fleet is coming! Not anymore! We took care of that little problem. Alright, here we go. Knowing the attack is coming, as it always comes in Glow, does nothing to calm your nerves. There's only so long you can handle sheltering in your quarters. As the month draws longer, you find yourself almost compulsively walking the walls when you're not working, scanning the tree line for the first sign of trouble. You're there when you see them, dark on dark shapes coming out of the forest, perfectly silent. Marz steps forward. She beckons you forward, too. This is the moment you've been trying to make happen. Yabby, there's no way people are just going to accept never having children, she says. That's just... will go extinct. Can't you make them give us a better deal? You look down at Noctilescent, a figure of malevolent patience across the friar break. This might be the only chance you get, but you can try. The Overseer did not mention that the slow extinction of humanity was part of their deal. The other colonists would never accept something as drastic as forced sterilization, living like pets or curiosities in a zoo, dwindling into oblivion behind these walls. You couldn't even ask them to make that choice, which leaves you with two. We need a better deal. Noctilescent's patience is running out. Behind them, the amassed animal lies in wait. The offer is already generous, they say. Do you think I consulted with the venomous slapfingers when they overhunted the abyssal driftworms, or the creeping crosshorn vine when it choked the southern shoreline? No, they spit. I did what was needed to restore balance, as my gardener directive entails. Sim lays his hand on Noctilescent's arms. The humans can be reasoned with, he says firmly. Just hear them out, please. He turns to you. What do you propose, Yabby? We must be allowed to reproduce. My persuasion is at 100, ma dude. I've got this. Oop, there we go. I don't know what I did, but it worked. You are well spoken for a pest, Noctilescent concedes. However, is humanity even capable of considering the survival of all creatures over their own, even if it means accepting limitations? Of course we are! You argue that the success of the Vertumna project in leaving Earth shows that you've learned from your mistakes. Maybe humanity as a whole wasn't able to change trajectory back on Earth, but the colony self-selected those that could. Noctilescent listens to all of this, looking a little more convinced. Have you learned anything from living here, though? They ask. Can you even coexist with the planet's native wildlife? I mean, look at my beautiful pet! I can do it. Oh, my delusions card. I forgot I had that. There we go. Noctilescent seems impressed. You've learned all that in 10 years? It seems you aren't completely ignorant. Very well, they say, motioning for the army to stand down. You have argued your case and shown you can adapt to your surroundings. And the new terms are? The Overseer has agreed to grant the humans reproductive autonomy and limited expansion within your ecological niche, Noctilescent offers. Additionally, the gardeners will ensure the continued health of this valley, fertile soil, clean water, favorable animal migration patterns, and so on. Behind you, the colonists are beginning to carefully come forward to listen, murmuring in wonder. To be clear, Noctilescent continues, there will be no hunting, clearing, mining, or expanding beyond the valley. Humanity must live in harmony with nature, rather than attempt to control it, Noctilescent adds. You will come to understand that you do not stand above the needs of the planet. Your mom comes up beside you and puts her hand on your shoulder. It's what we've wanted this whole time, she says in disbelief. When we left Earth, this is everything we dreamed we could be. But the Helios arrived on a military mission, carrying their burdens from Earth, and may resent any deal with the Gardeners. The decision may not be popular, but it will give humanity a chance at peace. A true peace. We agree to your terms! The animals surrounding the colony begin to filter back into the trees, disappearing into the gloom of late-glow wilderness. Your knees buckle. You feel like you could sleep for a week. All around you, you hear people crying, in relief maybe, or fear. Tears pour down your face unbidden as the colony comes out to clamor around you. Many are smiling, some look numb and scared, some look angry. It hasn't sunk in yet, even as you're hoisted onto someone's shoulders and paraded back into the colony. You did it. You won. The party continues well into the night, and for a few days after that as well, until the suns rise above the horizon once again. It begins to set in that the colony will never again see another monster attack, or famine, or plague. Most people think this sounds pretty good. The others are soundly overruled, for now. As for you, you can now focus on being your best self without worrying about day-to-day survival. That relief carries you through until quiet breaks on the new year, your 20th birthday. You turn 20 amidst a time of tremendous joy and unity in the colony. You aren't a teenager anymore, so you guess that makes you an adult. Though in many ways you've already been one for a long time. You step out onto your balcony to greet a new day and start the rest of your life on Vertumna. The end! What ending do we get? You've reached your 20th birthday. Ooh. Lawyer! We're a lawyer! How cool! I like my glasses. I have those in real life. SFC! Oh, it's an SFC sign! Building a colony doesn't mean you just erect walls and plow fields. You need to come up with an entire way of governance that ensures peace for centuries to come. Basically, you're a bureaucrat. You help draft the colony's constitution, ease the transition to a democratically elected council, and manage the rules surrounding elections. You become an opposition leader. Marz's FCC becomes a de facto political party with her as governor, and as the person who helped elevate her to that position, you are uniquely qualified to act as her opposition. It's in your nature to question authority, and you believe it's an important part of any healthy democracy. Your inability to compromise means you never end up with any power yourself, but you make sure the Governor, Marz, and the Council don't get away with anything they shouldn't do. It's an important job, and sometimes bitter, but Marz never holds it against you. In fact, she revels in the conflict. She loves that you keep her sharp. Aw. She would. Marz! Ah, the indomitable Marzipan. That's Governor Marzipan to you. Marz learns from her flirtation with capitalism and, true to her word, abandons her plan to turn kudos into a true currency. She wants to raise everyone's standards of living together, not create a luxurious nouveau riche on Vertumna. Steering the colony under gardenership requires a calm hand. Marz initially chafes at the idea that she can't build the beautiful metropolis of her dreams. However, with much of the external pressure taken off the colony, Vertumna already is a paradise. Few people need to labor for subsistence anymore, so more can devote themselves to the arts. Just as Marz had hoped, peace brings an unprecedented time of cultural growth and, eventually, the luxury she craved. Just a little different than she imagined. As for the love of her love life, Marz has never really wanted to settle down for the long term. You date on and off for a few years, never exclusively. She enjoys having you on her arm and parading you around at colony functions, and always showers you with presents and attention behind closed doors. You have a good thing, but eventually you fall out of the habit of sleeping together, and drift apart as your lives change. She enjoys a string of lovers, Tangent, Utopia, Rex again, a number of people from the Heliopause. Everybody wants her, nobody can cage her. She does eventually have one child, just for the novelty. She enjoys being the center of attention while carrying a surrogate pregnancy, but enjoys being the child's wealthy, generous anti-Marzipan even more. Marz remains surrounded by as much luxury as one could expect on an exoplanet, and though she complains about wanting more, she never seems anything less than happy about her life. Aw, that's good. Ha! You and Sim enjoy the bachelor life for a few years, becoming better friends through your many domestic miscommunications. He's a good roommate, though a little dense when it comes to picking up when you would like some private time, please, Sim. Though a few brave soul tries, Sim never bonds with anyone in the colony in a romantic sense, but instead cultivates many new friendships. You die at a ripe old age, surrounded by loved ones. That was a good ending. Hello, old me. How are you? I lived my best life, even though my dad is dead. That many of your friends and family died before their time. People who might not have, perhaps, if you'd made different choices. We can really save them. We can, but not this time. I will go with you, though. I still have another ending to get. Alright, let them come. Marz nods grimly. We'll need to show them we're a powerful colony in our own right, she says. We'll need an infrastructure, a solid birth rate, and dominance over the planet. Then we might have a chance to prove that we're the rightful rulers of Vertumna. She snaps at Seek. Make it happen. We have 20 years to prepare. Ooh, okay, so they are coming. I I wonder what that's gonna look like in the ending. Let's find out. Oh, here we go. So, and the fleet from Earth? You keep what you know about the Earth fleet a secret, always with one eye on the wormhole awaiting their arrival. But they never come. You ask Sim about it, and he confesses to you that the Convergent Domain once had the ability to warp the resonance of the wormhole, a skill retained by the Gardeners. Somewhere in the universe are 100,000 confused humans floating endlessly, trying to find a planet that feels increasingly more like a dream. Well, I love that, like, my character died right after that. Sim's words were so shocking, I just fucking died. Alright, so it looks like no matter what happens, the governor or the fleet doesn't show up? I don't know, maybe there is a version where they do, but it looks like no matter what, the Gardeners are ready to stop them. Oh, I can only imagine what would have happened if they actually landed. Ah, here we go. This is what we want to get the next ending we want. I think capitalism is good, actually. Oh, Marz says, visibly deflating. Really? But everything I've read... You remind Marz that history is written by the victors, and that everything she knows about Earth has been filtered through the biases of the adults in the colony. I hadn't thought about it like that, she replies after some thought. I'll have to reconsider. Thanks, Yabby. I really appreciate it when people point out something I didn't think of. I think capitalism is bad, actually, but we're doing this for the ending. Here we go. Reached your 20th birthday. Ooh! Merchant! Oh, I like that. Look at us, we're... Oh, and you can see our holopalm! How cool! And the kudos thumbs up. You've always loved the smell of freshly nano-printed goods, the look of shelves overflowing with things for sale. You associate it with abundance, the comfort of knowing that everyone's needs will be well met. After years of lobbying from you and Marz, Kudos takes over as full currency. People of all ages enjoy being able to buy things for themselves, as a treat. The colony eventually outgrows its little supply depot, and you start your own commercial endeavor. You run a nanoprint shop. As the depot's nanoprinters break down and are discarded, you collect the pieces for a few kudos here and there, and then pay an engineer to painstakingly reassemble them into one, mostly functional printer. The goods you create with it are always quirky. The raw materials you feed it, Vertumina crystal and obsidian rather than aluminum or iron, produce oddly organic results. Brittle and beautiful, your household goods and appliances are more like unique art pieces. Sometimes they even work, too. But what about... I wonder if anything changes. Ah, yeah, okay. One change Marz makes as governor is to expand Kudos beyond just as a reward for children. She insists that having a true symbolic currency will result in the creation of real consumer goods, and that it's vital for colony's growth. Kudos adoption is lackluster, as the colony realizes that living under gardenership means that barely anyone has to work, and most would rather follow their passions than earn money. Ironically, this is the best thing to happen to Marz. She soon presides over a paradise where artisans thrive naturally, no incentive required. Peace brings an unprecedented time of cultural growth, and eventually, the luxury she craved, just a little different than she imagined. So, no matter what, the Kudos doesn't really matter, so no reason to put it in place in the first place. It's better without it. Alright, I'm gonna try and get one more ending. There are two endings called Hobbyist and Rebel, and I tried to get the Rebel one during Deese's run, but I ran out of time, and I needed to edit the video down. I think I can get it this time. I know how to do it. It's basically the same thing as doing Hobbyist. Relax the entire time, but you have to be rebellious for this one, so I'm gonna try and do that. Because it still kind of fits for Marz, since she does eventually take over the colony. But that means we're not doing anything else. So this isn't going to be the best ending, but I just want to get it, because we're supposed to get all endings. So we're just relaxing, 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 and rebelling any chance we get. Oh, I got that! I haven't gotten that before. You heroically push Anemone out of the way, putting yourself between her and the creature's jaws as it transforms into a towering horror. You both scream as it rips you from her, tearing into your arm. The pain is incredible. You're certain you're going to die. Then you hear a zert and smell the crackling ozone of Anemone's blast rifle. She leans over you and applies pressure to your wound. I've got you, Yabby! It's dead! Just hang on! I'm going to get you out of here! We did it! We lived! You try to tell her as you lose your grasp on consciousness. You wake up in the medbay. Oh, I'm alive! I didn't expect that. Alright, let's see what we got.
It's either going to be hobbyist or rebel. I'm hoping for rebel, because hobbyist seems easier. You reach your 20th birthday. Rebel! Yeah! Look at our spiky knee pads. We got it! You're without a cause, never fitting in and always fighting with the colony administration who hassle you about your lack of focus. After a lifetime of finding ways to undermine their authority, it just makes sense to reject the colony entirely, you rebel. If they've already labeled you an outcast, you might as well act like one. You become the colony's first career criminal. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. You're always planning your next scheme or heist. They'll never find your buried cache of chocolate-flavored soy rations, now unreproducible and in high demand for their nostalgia value, or your collection of siphoned kudos accounts. You don't even know why you do it. This is all you know how to do. The council needs to work out an entire justice system to deal with you, the unrepentant, unreformable yabby. They would never banish you, but you do spend some time in the colony's first inmate and the first jail, too. Dang, I'm doing a lot of firsts. Not good firsts, but firsts. It does nothing to change your behavior. You're not scared of any consequences. Hell no, I'm not. Alright, another ending got. We are filling up this gallery pretty quickly. We're only missing a few more. With Nomi Nomi and Rex, I have plans for who's gonna get what endings. So, with Nomi Nomi, we're going to be going for Novelist, Entertainer, and Collector. And with Rex, our beloved, we are going to be looking at getting Governor, of course, and also Architect, and I believe Hobbyist. So that will be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, those are the only endings we're missing. Oh, so much excitement. But yeah, so since we did a bunch of stuff with Marz this time, and Rex's area is also in the Marz area, or at least some of it is, we're going to be taking a break from that area because we're going to be going for Governor next, and I will be reading those all again because this time it's about us. So we will be going on to Nomi Nomi next, my fellow ace person, and I'm so excited for it. So look out for that. We will be starting actually at the beginning because with Nomi Nomi, I'm going to be practicing with the photophoner a lot because I want to make sure that we can get that ending, and also I've never done it before, just to see. It'll probably be very short, because our main bulk of stuff is going to be when Nomi actually shows up. But we'll see how it goes. So for now, I will bid you all adieu. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself, make your girlfriend the governor, and have a good day.